Hey everyone, Okana here. We're going to talk about major trend lines and minor trend lines. This is going to definitely improve your trading results. So by the way, did you see that video I made about the 160 pip move? I did a multi-forecast analysis. I gave you some ideas about what could happen. So that's the technique I used. So today I'm going to explain that technique. So you should definitely watch that video because it's better that you see how the markets reacted after the analysis. For example, on the USD Canadian asset, we had the drop. Uh, I was expecting, as I told you in that video, that price would try to reach the weekly and monthly support here, and that would be a 160 pip move, which it seems to have started. I already traded this. It dropped about 60 pips almost from the target that I gave you at the 27.0 approximately here. So check that out. You will definitely learn something from that. So let's start with major trend lines. That's how I usually start analyzing the charts. The major trend lines, find a strong target. Now in this case we see that the target, the asset was moving up, very strong trend line on the weekly time frame. And if we go to the daily, we had another one here before, which I also used to take the breakout from here to this target. So as you can see, there are always many trends, but you should start with the major ones because then you will have an idea where the price is heading, and you're going to go with the major trends. Even if you're doing 15-minute, 30-minute trades, you're gonna definitely decrease the risk of losing a lot of trades. Definitely decrease the risk of a trade suddenly going against you because you're going with a major trend. The odds are higher that it's gonna just keep going the way that is trending. Like in this case, you've seen the USD CAD has been dropping for several weeks, which is what we anticipated before because of this breakout. So trying to catch reversals, trying to catch call options would be highly risky. So this is why I can confidently say that this technique is going to improve your results. So as I said, you will find a major pattern on a higher time frame. So if, for example, here was the weekly, but if we go back a little bit in time, so here on the daily we would have had this pattern instead. So for example, this was last month, we could have been trading this instead. This would have told us that a bearish trend has started. We could have used that on the lower time frame. But if we go back even further, you see here on the daily we had another strong trend line, a few highs here on the daily. So it's all about finding those trends and start with the higher time frames and work your way down. So let me show you, for example, USD/JPY. I shared this in the video yesterday. This was before the drop. I told you a drop could come, just like before, the patterns before. So I shared this with you. So I hope some of you caught this, the drop, and had some successful trades, as I did. I got a 47 pip winner on this one, 47.5 actually. Pretty good, I would say. So if we look at it again, as I said, you want to have the stronger target. As you can see here, a stronger on the weekly would have been this area, right? Which is not helping us because the price was up there already. So this is why you will know you should go to another time frame. And on the daily, we would have seen 1, 2, 3, 4 times price bounced off of this line, very strong trend line. And that's when we can move down the time frames. And one of our colleagues who is a pro trader, he calls them master trend lines. I think it's a good name. Instead of saying stronger, you can say master trend line because most of the time price is getting bounced off of this on the higher time frames. So I think a master trend line is a good name. I will put the link below. You should definitely read his forum post. It's here, and I actually shared some of my analyses yesterday just before the move on the Euro USD and USD JPY here in the same thread. It's called Bogdan's super accurate 99.99% DTL strategy, and it's actually pretty good, pretty accurate, so it's no joke. It works very well, but of course you have to have some experience, so give it some time. Check it out. I'll put the link below. So basically, if you have seen my videos on triangles, and so you already know when you have two lines you will draw, you have a flag or a triangle, and then you wait for a breakout. Or in this case, very easier name is just master, and you have the trigger line. If it's broken, we're going up. If it's not, we'll wait. But of course, this is why I wanted to add something, the minor trend lines. So once you have the major trend lines, like in this case, when it broke, I could trade, which I did, with the USD JPY, and go put options all the way down towards the next towards my target, which was this previous resistance that got broken, which I also talked about in another forecast video. So if you again go back and watch, I talked about this, that we would be bullish with USD JPY because it broke this area. So we knew about this target already, so it wasn't so much of an effort for this. So anyway, moving down, let's talk about the minor trends. So of course, once you have these kind of things figured out, you can move down the time frames. You would know your master very important line is here, and then you would move down. You will find other trends, other minor trend lines, which you can use. For example, here price was trending down, and you can see that here it broke, retraced, dropped, retraced. So again, you have a nice, very strong trend line, and you would know if it's broken, you want to be bullish. If it's not, you want to be bearish. And then again, you could keep moving down, and you will find other patterns. Now here we are on the 15-minute time frame, which I'm sure a lot of you love. Now again, you will see you have trend lines. Now in this case, what would happen is that when this one is broken, you would know that your master trend line, the higher time frame, the major trend was reached. So this is a higher low. Price was at the time still bullish on the higher time frames. So now it's bouncing. You would know, okay, maybe it's not a good idea to just jump in and go for a put option here, because now price is bouncing off of this very strong major trend line. So this is how you have to think about it. And instead, you would see the breakout and take advantage of that. And then when this line is getting broken, now you would know, hey, maybe there is no continuation after all. Maybe it's dropping back to the line, and then you would see that yes, indeed, it's breaking down and it's going. So you would know, where is it going? Well, obviously it's heading back for that major strong trend line that I have. And then in this case, once this one got broken, which you could see, actually this lower time frame would help you for the further with the breakout, because our master line, you see, when we draw them on the higher time frames, they're not that well adjusted. When we go down to the lower time frames, we have to adjust them, and you can see here on the 15-minute time frame, this was a better, more accurate line, because price broke several times. That master trend line came up above that. So here we can see the actual breakout was here, and that would have given us a better entry instead of jumping in here and getting caught in that retracement. So that's how you use it. And what about now? Can we still find those things? Yes, here we got another one. Here we are on the 15-minute time frame. I think we could see the same thing, yeah, on the 5-minute time frame, but it looks a little bit nicer here on the 15-minute time frame. So again, we have another flag or triangle pattern, as you can see here, descending triangle, and either it's going to break up and try to reach back up here, or it's going to break down and try to reach back down here. So when we do this, and what do we know already? We know already USD JPY is strongly bearish, but it is also at a support that was a very strong resistance before, and it broke with a large amount of bulls last time. So using these, we know that if the bulls start moving, then we're going to see a breakout up. If the bulls are weak, then we're going to see a breakout down. So this way you will know to go with the major trend. So regarding Euro USD, pretty much the same thing. We have a major, very strong trend line. You can see so many bounces all the way down there. What happened, again, we could see if we, again, remember my videos on triangles, or like I'd show you the trigger line, master trigger line, like in this thread. So please read this thread from the beginning to understand. So this is the master trend line, the major trend line, same thing. And you got this breakout here. So we were expecting this, and I shared this in my post. So here I shared this before it happened, that we could be expecting something like this. Keep an eye on it, either a breakout down or a breakout up. So what I was waiting for was this. I was waiting for either a breakdown, in which case price would try to reach down this very strong trend line based on daily and 4-hour time frames. Okay, so I was expecting the continuation in the retracement down all the way here, or a break up, in which case the previous patterns would repeat them. So you see this large movement here, and also here you can see that. So I was waiting for that to happen, and that's exactly what happened, or at least one of the scenarios happened, because USD JPY broke down. So these assets are in negative correlation. Again, I have videos on that subject as well, so please watch that. So when if we adjust the line a little bit, so we saw the breakout here, Euro USD going up, USD JPY dropping down. So it was pretty much served on a silver platter here. So that's that, guys. Keep an eye open for my future forecasts. I'll try to share more forecasts like these, because I'm sure it helps some of you. So tell me if you have used any of those, or you're learning. Leave a comment below, give us a like. Thanks guys for watching.